Hello everyone, welcome to the lecture series of 8085 microprocessor. Today we start with the branching instructions of 8085. In the previous lecture we saw instructions, uh, arithmetic logic instructions and data transfer instruction. This is the next category that is called as the branching instructions. The branching instructions, they are classified into three types as we can see. The first category is the jump instruction. Today we'll be doing the jump instructions, and in the coming lectures we'll be doing the other types. The next is the call and return instruction. Then we have restart instructions. So these instructions, why they are called as branching instructions? Because they can change the sequence of execution of any of the program. Generally what happens whenever we are writing a program, the program executes in a sequence. As suppose if we are starting from 8000, then 8001, whatever instructions we are writing, if you remember, then 8003 and so on. So if our program ends at suppose 8010, so it will execute all the instructions in a sequence one after the other. But using this branching instructions we can change the sequence. That is, it can jump from anywhere. We can even jump from 8002 and skip all these instructions and directly come to 8010. Okay, it might even go from 8003 to maybe 8000. Okay, so we can change the sequence of execution of instructions. So these are the three categories of branching instructions: jump instructions, call and return instructions, and the finally the restart instructions. Today we will be doing the various types of jump instructions. So jump instructions, they can be classified further into two types. One is called as unconditional jump. So unconditional jump, and then we have conditional jumps. Unconditional jump as well as conditional, all the jumps they are of 3 byte. So the jump instructions, they are of 3 byte instructions. Let us first study the unconditional jump. The unconditional jump is given by this particular mnemonic JMP and then 16-bit. So this is a 3 byte instruction. 16-bit means it is a 16-bit address will be given where the program will, that particular instruction execution will start from that particular location. For example, suppose if I write at 8000 m move a comma b, and at 8002 I write JMP 8010. So this instruction, sorry, this one will come 1, this is 2 and so on, 8003. So we might have this instruction up to maybe at 8010 we have halt. So JMP, when a microprocessor executes this first line, it will transfer the content of B to A, and when it executes 8001, at 8001 we are giving the instruction JMP 8010. So it will directly jump to this particular instruction and skip all this particular instruction. This instructions won't be executed. So it is, this JMP is called as the unconditional jump. So we are not giving any condition, we are just specifying jump. So this is we can say equivalent to go to instruction of high level language. So this jump, this is called as the unconditional jump. Then with respect to conditional jump, there are 8 conditional jumps. Now in case of 8085 we have 5 flags. One is the carry flag, then we have the parity flag, we have the sign flag, and we have the 0 flag, and also auxiliary carry. But auxiliary carry is not used in any of the jump instruction, so we use this 4 flag for conditional jumps. Now with respect to every flag we have 2 jumps. With respect to carry we have 2 jumps. With respect to parity we have 2. With respect to sign we have 2. With respect to 0 we have 2 jumps. Now as I've told you, as I've seen, with respect to carry we have 2 jumps. One is jump if carry and jump if no carry. Of course here we will have 16-bit address, here also 16-bit address. so we have to specify the address here. With respect to parity, we have two jumps: jump on parity even, jump on parity odd, JPE JPO, of course with 16-bit address. With respect to sign, we have two jumps: jump on plus, jump on minus, 16-bit. Then with respect to 0, we have two jumps: jump if 0, jump if no 0. So this instructions they are called as conditional jump instructions, because this jump will be executed if a particular condition is satisfied. Okay, let us see with one example. Suppose we have a particular program. I will just write a part of a program. So suppose at 800 I write add b, okay, and at 8001 suppose I give the instruction jump if no carry, JNC, and some data will be there, and here 003, 004, 8005 and so on. So if I write the instruction JNC to 8005, okay, and here I write move C comma I. So this add b, when we are writing the hex code, okay, so hex code of we write the hex code of whatever hex code of 8b add b is, and at this point, because JNC is 3-byte instruction, so we need to leave 2 space after this JNC instruction. So here opcode of JNC will come, and while entering the at the second and third byte, we have to enter the jump location. So jump is 8005, so first 05 is entered and then 80 is entered. Okay, so the jump location, the address is entered in reverse order. So 8005 will be entered as 05 and 80, and yes, opcode of C here will come, and then suppose we have this halt, and we have the halt opcode of halt. Now what happens in this case? After add b, okay, the condition, we are giving the condition jump if no carry to 8005. Okay, so this particular instruction, what the microprocessor will do after addition, it will check the carry flag. If carry is not generated, okay, if there is no carry, it will directly jump to 8005 and it won't execute this part. But if carry is generated, then there is no jump, so this particular instruction will be executed. So therefore we have JNC, here I have written JNC. So this is how this particular instruction is executed. Okay, so here suppose we have halt. Now let us make some change. Suppose if I, in this case, if I make the change as JC, so what will it do? It will add the data A plus B, it will do A plus B, and here condition is jump if carry. So if carry flag is if the carry is generated, carry flag is set, then it will directly jump to 8005 and this part is skipped. But if no carry is generated, then there is no jump and it will go in a sequence. So this is called as the conditional jump. Same thing we can do for all the, we can understand for all the other conditional jumps. So here we have JPE. So if parity flag is set, so we have jump on parity even. Okay, so that condition is satisfied, it will jump, otherwise it won't jump. Similarly JP and JM, they are for jump if plus, jump if minus, and JZ and JNZ. So we must know where to use which jump. For that we need to have a good practice of all the programs, so then we can understand where to use which jump. And one more thing, while checking any of the flag, see after add B, the flag may be set or reset. So you must immediately, if you want to check the condition, immediately after this particular instruction you must check the flag, otherwise the flag may be lost. Okay, so this is how we use the jump instruction. Now let us do one program which is based on jump instruction. So here we have write a program to store 19H in register A, D3H in register B, and add their contents and store the result in register C if carry is generated, and in register D if carry is not generated. So we need to add these two numbers and store the result in C if carry is generated and D if carry is not generated. So let us see how we can do this. So of course the first instruction, just noted on this So first instructions, of course, we need to store the data MVI A19H. So this is a 2-byte instruction. Then MVI B, this is actually D3H. Now we need to add the content, so this is a 2-byte instruction, so we'll just write next instruction is add B, of course. Now after addition, a carry may be generated, may not be generated, so let us write JNC, jump if no carry. Now if carry is not generated, we have to store the result in register D, so that the one which has to be skipped is actually move C comma A. Then here I can have actually halt. Then this JNC can come here, so I will have move D comma A and then another halt. So this jump will be actually at 800A. Now let us see how this program will execute. Now A19 gets stored in A because of this particular instruction, and D3 gets stored in B, and after addition. Now suppose carry is, let us assume that carry is not, we are given this add if JNC means carry, if jump if carry is not generated. So after addition, if carry is not generated, it will directly jump to 800A, and result gets stored, this result is in A, it gets stored in register D, so this is register D. Now suppose if carry is generated, then this jump is not executed, so it continues the sequence. A gets stored in C and we get halt. So here actually we are adding 2 halt. So if carry is, suppose if carry is generated, in case if carry is generated, then these two are executed and this is not executed. But if carry is not generated, when carry is not generated, then what will happen? This instruction is not executed and this two they get executed. Okay, so this is how we make the use of the carry flag in this particular program. We can even do this program in any of the simulator, Jubin or that one which we have done in Android app. Now let us execute this program. So I have just written the hex code. The hex code MVI is 3, then 19, then MVI B is 06D3, add B is 80, JNC is D2. Now here you can see the jump is 800A, so first 0A will come, then 80 will come. The jump location is entered in reverse order. So I will just enter this memory location and hex code. I will be using that Jubin's simulator. You can use any other simulator and we will check the result. Let us see if whether we are getting a carry. If we are getting a carry, then of course result will come in C. If we are not getting carry, then result will come in D. Let us do that. Let us start. I will just do this practical on Jubin simulator, the microprocessor trainer kit. So reset and set. So I have to start on 8000. Okay. Then INR. Then I will have, so 3 is already there. So if there is no 3, I will just type 3E. Then next is 19. Okay, 19. I have to type 19. Then okay. Then is 06. Then I have D3. Okay. Then next is 80. Then I have D2, then 0A, then 80, then 4F, then 76, then 57, then finally 76. Okay, so I have entered the program. I will just one more INR. Now in order to execute, reset, then go 8000 and then execute. So program gets executed. Now I press this reset key, then REG, register A, it contains EC, so the answer is EC. Now let us check whether we are getting the result in C. So we are not getting anything in C, that means carry was not generated, so result is in D. So since in this particular addition the carry was not generated, therefore the result EC gets stored in D. Okay, we can even verify this result. Let us verify what result we are getting and whether we are getting carry or not. We will do that now. Okay, we will verify the result. So A contains 19 and B contains D3. Let us write this number in binary. So 0 is actually 0001, 9 is 1001, then D is 1101, 3 is 0011. So we'll add these numbers. 1 plus 1 is 0, carry 1. So this is 0, again carry 1. So this is 1, this is 1. 1 plus 1 is 0, carry 1. So this is 1, this is 1, this is 1. So we are not getting any carrier. Last carry we are not getting any carry, so carry is 0, and this is actually E, and this is C. So result is verified. So we have the result gets stored in A because no carry is generated. So D is also EC, and the register C, it contains 0 0, so result gets stored in D, which is actually in A. Okay, so no carry is generated. So we have verified the result. Now let us do one more program, multiplication. Write a program to multiply two numbers 09 and 06. So in 8085 there is no multiplication instructions. We have addition, subtraction, increment, decrement, but there is no multiplication instruction. So how to do multiplication when multiplication is not there? So we will use a trick. Like suppose if you want to multiply 9 with 6, then it is as good as adding 9 6 times. So we'll get the same result, that is multiplication. Okay. Now in case of 8085, addition cannot be done without A, so we need to take A. So what we do is we make A equal to 0, then store one of the number in register B, the other number in register C. Okay. Then what we do is we take this we make this A equal to A plus B, and do C equal to C minus 1, because we need to add this 9 6 times. So we need to run a counter so that this goes on addition. This addition continues A plus B until C becomes 0. Now how this will run? Okay. So in the first pass, A is equal to 0 and B is 9. So A equal to A plus B. So A is 0 plus B is 9. So it becomes 0 9. A becomes 0 9. Okay. 0 0 plus 0 9 is 0 9. And we will subtract C by 1. So C becomes 0 5. Then again, now A is actually 9, and we A equal to A plus B. So 9 plus 9 is, I am just writing in decimal, although the multiplication in hexadecimal, but I am writing in decimal. So 9 plus 9 is 18. Then C becomes 0 4. This continues until we get the final result in, so 9 6 are 54. This is actually decimal. In 8085 we will get some different answer in hexadecimal, and when C actually becomes 0. So this will run in this way. So when we don't have any multiplication, we need to add that particular data so many number of times. So let us see how we can implement the same thing in terms of instructions. So the very first mnemonic is, we'll write MVI A00H. Now there are many other ways to make A00. We'll see it afterwards. So first is MVI A, then here MVI B 09H, then next is MVI C 06H, then we have to do A equal to A plus B. So this is add B, then we have DCR C, so we need to decrement C. Okay. Now this decrement, okay, we need to add B until C becomes 0. So we'll add instruction jump if no 0 to 8006, and then finally at this point it will halt. This will halt. So here we can see, first of all A is 0. We need to clear A, because if we don't clear A, then it might be possible that some data remains is already there in A, and it will get added with 9 and we won't get proper result. So you need to clear A. Then MVI B, the larger number is stored in B, and we are running this C in loop, so this smaller number is in C. Add B, so A equal to A plus B, DCR C. If C is not 0, again it will go on adding. This addition will continue until C becomes 0, and up to that time we will get 9 into 6, and the result will get stored in A. So this is one of the program. Another way to make A0 is, this is actually MVI A is a 2-byte instruction, we can even modify this particular program so that we can save 1 byte. I will add that instruction also here. Everything remains same, only the first instruction changes. So the instruction is actually XOR A, XOR A. So if we XOR A with itself, A becomes 0. So this is 1 byte. This will make A 0 irrespective what the data in A is. So one more way of making A 0 is using this. So we just all the other instructions, they remain same, so we just get a benefit of one byte. So this is 1 byte instruction. Then here add B, then DCRC, then jump if no 0 to 8005, and finally we have the halt. So here halt. So this one instruction can also make A 0. Okay, so this is how we do that particular program. So that's all for this session. Thanks for watching.